In this video, you'll get to have a look at a typical LearnPhonics weekly plan. We're going to go through a daily plan together and also look through some PowerPoint slides so you get a real feel for how the scheme works. So let's have a look at a typical weekly plan. Down the side, you've got the GPCs that the children are learning, and then you've also got the QR code that links to a short video that shows you how to perform the mnemonic if applicable. So here you've got the teach section, and this is where you've got your deeper understanding points, which give pointers to a discussion to help children remember the sound, to discuss the sound, and to make the sound a bit more tangible, give them some ideas of how they can remember it. You've also got 3 words that you teach the children and discuss where you can see the GPC and the sound that the GPC is making. Here you've got the words that the children are going to practice reading. These are the words that the children are going to practice spelling. Here you've got the sentence that the children are going to have a go at reading, and these are true or false sentences, which also encourages some comprehension as well. Those are all on the PowerPoint slides. And finally, you've got the sentence that the children are going to apply their learning by writing. I thought it would be good to just quickly go through a typical lesson with the PowerPoint slides so you can see how the planning links to that. So it's really important to let the PowerPoint slides guide you. You don't need to look at the planning that much, only when you get to a slide that has the purple star. All the lessons follow the same routine, so we've got these short phrases in between each section, and you and the children can all say together, "What did we learn before?" In this case, it was "are," so you can briefly go over that, briefly go over the mnemonic, and maybe just recap a couple of words that we learned that have AR saying "are." Here you can go through the GPC flashcards of all the sounds you've already learnt so far. Now we've got another phrase and we can all say together, "What are we learning today?" So now you've got your GPC, which is AIR saying air, and you can see that little purple star at the bottom. So you're going to refer to the teach section of the planning. And I've just snipped in the planning. That's not actually obviously there on the PowerPoint slides. It's just for the purpose of the video. You've got a little teaching point, which is that air makes me really happy because your mouth has to open wide when you say this sound. And just to give a bit of a discussion about it before moving on. And you've also got those 3 words, pair, fair, and chair, which we're going to show in just a minute. And then here you've got the part where you would teach the mnemonic, which is air, fresh air. And you've got a little picture to go with that. Now you've got those 3 words that I mentioned. You're going to teach these words. You're going to teach the children how to read them, how to spot that GPC air. You're going to go through each one by one. So here you have fair, and here you've got chair. So here we are at our next section, and we all say, "Now it's time to read some words." Now you've got these blank lines here, which could throw you off a little bit, but check that purple star in the bottom right-hand corner, which means refer to the planning. So we're in the practice read section. So all you're going to do is you're just going to slowly write these 6 words on the lines. And as you're slowly writing, the children can slowly start reading in their head or whisper reading out loud. Make sure you give them sufficient time to read these words. There's an alien word in there, and there's also a challenge word with the asterisk for the higher ability readers. Once the children have had time to read all these words, you're then obviously going to go through them all one by one. You can draw the dots and dashes. You can try repeating them quickly, sounding them out, whatever you need to do for your class. And now we're at the next section, and we all say, for the sake of the routine, "Now it's time to spell some words." You've got those blank lines again, and you've got the purple star, which of course means check the planning. So you're not actually going to write anything just yet. You're going to tell the children the word that they need to spell. So the first word is lair. Let them have a go at writing it, and then you can use the lines to write it and spell it correctly, and the children can self-correct. Then you'll move on to the next word, which is hair, and you'll do the same thing. Now we've got our next section, and we say, "Now it's time for the surprise sentence." You don't need to look at the planning at all now because everything's on the PowerPoint slides. So you're going to give the children sufficient time here to read the sentence on their own. Then once you get a sense that they've all had a go, you can ask if it's true or false. And this obviously encourages comprehension. And you can also read the sentence through together and identify the key GPC. And then you've got a nice little picture that you can just quickly have a look at just for fun and a very short brain break. Then simply repeat the process for the next sentence. And there you've got your little picture again. Now we come to our very final section, which is, now it's time for you to write a sentence. You've got those blank lines and the purple star, which of course means refer to the planning. So here you can see that the sentence for the children to write is, that is not fair. So you will say this sentence to the children, repeat it a couple of times, give them sufficient time for them to have a go, and then you use the lines to model writing the sentence correctly. And then they can self-correct their own work. Children who finish early can extend their sentence maybe, or just go through it once more to double check they've spelled everything correctly. And now we're at the very end of the lesson and we recap what we've learned by saying, what did we learn today? And now you can, of course, go through the GPC you learnt today, talk about the mnemonic, recap a few words that we've learnt, and then add the display card to your working wall.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're interested in using LearnPhonics in your setting, you are welcome to try it out for free at www.learnphonics.co.uk or get in touch via email at admin@learnphonics.co.uk.